But if you want to be mad at me, feel free. You know, I'll just keep on casting. You can keep on watching and shitting on me. It's fine. I can manage it. PartinG from Pixel 1. Believed he can take down Rogue from Janae. Let's see if he can. As you just see, the probe at the front going to drop the gateway. So PartinG not going to do anything super crazy yet. We'll see if he adds a forge. Doesn't look like it though, because he has been doing some little cannon rushes against Zerg players recently that have been, you know, doing some bits and pieces. So a few probes just continuing to pop on up here. Hatchery dropping down on the natural. And away we go. Hatch, gas, and pool. Intrigued to see what Rogue PartinG does then. So again, like I said in his pre-interview, he said, okay, you know, I believe I can take down Rogue. I believe we can do this. I mean, I feel like it's all well and good if you believe you can take down Rogue, but then can you also take down Maru / Trap / SOS? I mean, that's the next question. PartinG's PvZ has been impressive lately, though. Has had some good runs in GSL this year. As we do see the Nexus on the way on the natural expansion. What happens if the game is a draw 7 times in a row? If it goes 1-1 every single time, eventually, when both teams have... Well, if it can't be a draw 7 times in a row. But if you have 4 1-1s, both teams have lost 4 players, it comes down to a deciding best-of-1 ace match. Adept Chronobus now TN into Twilight Council opening from PartinG. So a Twilight early, we'll see what he does with that. See if the Robo comes down as well to make this that DT Archon drop. Andrew drops down over to the side there as Link Speed about halfway done. Warp Gate coming up as well on the Cybernex core. The Robo facility is going to be dropping, so it will just be that Dark Shrine in a moment or so and setting up in towards this DT Archon drop. Pretty typical opener. Nothing out of the ordinary just yet, as we do see the Stalker poking away. The Overlord which is getting pushed over to the right hand side, trying to deny some information early on. Oh, Glaive is going to be the choice here from PartinG. Interesting. Okay. And he's going to add on a lot more gateways. He's actually going to get very aggressive here right away, going up to 5 gateways in total. So PartinG really going to turn on the aggression switch right away in game 1. And I'm interested by the Glaives. It feels as though it kind of does look like that Archon drop over. And the thing is here, let's see how Rogue can respond, because he does have Pneumatized Carapace coming in. So he will scout the setup. Will he scout it in time to get a Roach run down and start defending against this? That's the question. You see an extra couple of gates morphing in on the front of the natural here. That Roach Roaring is coming up, is about halfway done. Overlord flying around, War Prism down the left. It's going to be moving its way in towards that main base in a moment or two. Adepts continue to warp in, going to be pressing to the front. Here we go. Adepts shading forwards. Adepts going to be picking away at the Queen there at the front. Hatchery taking some damage. He's coming in as well. You see these Adepts doing a pretty good job of this. Roaches taking some shots as well. More Roaches in production. Lair on the way up. That's going back in, and so far PartinG trading pretty well. Let's see how he can continue. He goes into a Robo Bait behind it as, I mean, the Lings have to come back down to help respond to this. The Adepts are going to sit here and continue to fight. Warp Prism continues to warp in from the left-hand side. Warp Prism comes back up the left. And then Robo Bait dropping down will give access to a follow-up here from PartinG. There's 44 drones each. I mean, if he has to back away, though, then Rogue has some freedom to start droning up, of course. And the Adepts still pressing forwards, and going to be seeing the Evo Chamber, the lair still coming up. Adepts going straight in towards the natural. At this stage, it feels as though the initial Adept attack has died off a little bit. It will be Disruptors and Prism Speed from PartinG. Trying to take a third base. The shading forwards with these Adepts might commit. These are... That's a very tempting drone line, right? But then there's roaches there just out of sight of the Adept vision, Adept shade. I couldn't see them either. I kind of like the idea of the shade as... Oh my god, these pauses. There's something that's happening on the Chinese stream that's requiring them to pause. And that's why these pauses are coming down. So a couple moments while this gets resolved. It's just something to do with like certain lag or certain internet issues that they're having, so they're just having to pause sometimes. Game will resume in a moment. PartinG put himself into an interesting spot here early. Looks as though that one was actually PartinG pausing the game, not even the admins. There you go, guys. It was PartinG just pausing up. Gets 5 drones here as we go see. Do you see the roaches chasing down those Adepts over the left-hand side? And gets a couple of these Adepts up into this mineral line as well, and we'll be able to continue dealing a lot of damage. 13 workers down. PartinG has put Rogue down by 9 workers overall here, so PartinG dealing some good damage, and Rogue perhaps in trouble. Yeah, well, Stalker's going to be looking to shut down this Overseer before it finishes. Just gets there. Overseer has seen the Robo Base and knows that's something that PartinG has. The Warp Prism with speed now into the main base to try and get a couple more drone kills, and will be successful in 4 more kills. I mean, just lets this Adept go as well. Gets 1 more worker, picks that final Adept up. 5 more workers killed. This is getting kind of serious for Rogue. You just can't seem to stabilize with an economy. Now, he is cleaning out a lot of the units of PartinG time and time again. You just see this army of PartinG moving down the center of the map, so Blink on the way up, but no, not yet, right? So you can't really just warp in Stalkers to help. He's still just stuck building Adepts. Prism comes back and lifts up the 2 Disruptors, so maybe just looking to try and get some Disruptors out here. Disruptor shot finds 3 Ravages, great start. Second Disruptor shot can line up. Goes towards the Roach Ravager, PartinG does a little bit of a wiggle with it. Doesn't find anything as a sentry or 2 goes down. Couple corrosive battles as well. Stalker's going to grab an Overseer. Still Roaches and Ravagers up the left side. PartinG will 68 to 52 workers. Couple extra Roaches getting picked off there. There's going to be a few more again. There's the Warp Prism with a couple of Disruptors up above. Gonna see Stalkers. Oh no! The corrosive battles hit the Prism down! Stalker's gonna continue boosting away to the right side, blinking back. So Rogue has this one attack where he's got a lot of supply. Killing the Disruptors is absolutely huge as Roaches and Ravagers continue to be chased. More Stalkers into the center here. Ah, man, this is really not a great time for PartinG. He's just about to get +1 as well. Down army supply quite heavily. Night is coming up. This one's so bad. I mean, imagine he still has the Disruptors. They can buy time. They can get some kills. That goes a long way to helping here. Now this Disruptor, well, it needs to find the right moment to fight into this. He does at least deny the Nidus, so he denies instant reinforcements at least. It's something. PartinG controlling 2 Stalker armies as he loses his 3rd Nexus. What? A way for things to change. Stalkers continue to blink away over the right-hand side. As you do see, the Niders in the main continue to come up. It's going to get shot away, but again, losing the 2 disruptors. Not necessarily saying those 2 disruptors, oh my god. Not necessarily saying those would have made the difference. But it obviously goes a long way to help, and I mean, that's a disruptor shell that will slow this game down from Rogue a little bit. PartinG has 58 probes, but he can only mine effectively with so many of them because no third base makes this very difficult, as we are going to be seeing Roach's Ravagers continuing down the bottom. Hydralisks going to be the next choice here from Rogue, as PartinG is kind of just stuck on this Stalker army. That disruptor shot was a game changer. Here we go. Stalker Sentry and Disruptor down to the bottom side. A couple more Disruptors coming up. Sentry's on the way. I'm just going to be seeing those couple of extra Zealots warping into. Deal with the Nidus warping into his main base. I mean, PartinG is in a position now where Stalker's pressing down this ramp. Force Souls dropping down, blinks backwards. So Disruptor will lead the charge, looking for the connection, kind of similar to what he just got. He needs something big here. And those Roaches, they try to split, will still go down. PartinG is still keeping this somewhat competitive in army supplies, 20 difference. The Ling production, though, is a great choice from Rogue, because Lings are something here that's really going to make PartinG's life difficult, because he doesn't have a big Zealot count. He is mostly focusing on Stalkers and Disruptors. Neither of those trade well against Lings. Disruptors don't want to fire on Lings because they're going to be surrounding your army. You don't want a friendly fire. Stalkers just don't do well against Lings, so... Well, we're using the Lings to buy time, and now a Lurker Den drops. He hasn't really made many Hydras, but starting to set up in towards Lurkers. Disruptor gets picked up. Stalker army is large, but it's becoming less effective over time. And while the army supply might have been competitive, again, those Stalkers are not exactly the best composition. Falling apart is Ling Roach. Moving up through the middle here. Nidus Network is going to get picked off. Stalker still through the center of the map. Lings and Roaches, Ravagers as well. Continuing on forwards. Stalkers on their way through that Nidus Network. It's going to go down as well. Lurker Den coming into play. Burrow. Carapace upgrade. Tunnel and Claws all still coming in. As that will get shut down. I mean, obviously PartinG's composition was probably meant to advance from these Stalkers. And he is starting to go at, Colossus now, Temple Archives. But obviously got put back quite a lot by losing that third Nexus. Really gave Rogue some more control of this game. PartinG was really doing well. That Disruptor Corrosive Battle on the Prism with the 2 Disruptors. What a game-halting moment for PartinG. A horrifying thing to have happen to you. More Lings getting picked off. It's just the Roaches on the right side. Gonna get rid of a few Stalkers here. I mean, those are Stalkers that just don't have the numbers to fight, and Rogue's playing a very patient game, knowing that he's got Lurkers on the way up, and once he gets to Lurkers, this game becomes much easier for Rogue. Suddenly you have Lurkers out, and you can do such a better job of setting up here. Just gonna see Ravagers, Lurkers coming back around the bottom. You just see a Nidus on the top right-hand side as well. More Colossus on the way out. And can PartinG find a way back into this? 118 to 132 supply. Just running in from the right-hand side. Stalkers, cannons firing away. The Stalker's going to blink in for a couple extra Roaches. PartinG is going to get maxed out at least. The problem is for PartinG, he doesn't really have the composition to fight Lurkers. He doesn't have a setup here which is... He's got a setup which is... It's okay, but against Lurkers, Where's the charge loss to tank? Where's the immortals to really, shoot those lurkers down nice and quickly? They just aren't here, as the lurkers make a play on his right-hand side thanks to the Nidus network getting him over there. That's a disruptor shot. The disruptors are okay against lurkers actually, but not enough of them on the map right now to really make a difference. Probes are dropping. There's an attack on the left side as well, hitting the fourth base. Lings are going to get a few probes or just burrow. And Rogue is just so good at playing these long games all over the map. Disruptors firing in again. Lurkers repositioning up to the top side. Okay. Play so far has been successful. That right-hand side base cleaned down. Now, Nidus into the main doesn't go down. Rogue will have to build up another there to evacuate these units, but honestly, they're going to trade so well until then. There is the recall into the main base. Couple of disruptors coming in. And then you're seeing this army also running by the forward base as well. I mean, Lings were taking a lot of damage there. Now the Hydras are showing up down in this low ground. I mean, he cleans up that bit of an army in the main, but there's just army all over the place right now. We're just going to be seeing Hydra's lurkers still firing away on the Nexus. So Nexus taking a lot more damage here. See the Stalkers continuing through. Overlord coming forwards, getting picked off. Nidus Network going to get picked off as well. And we are just going to be seeing 7 more lurkers in position or being built. 7 more lurkers coming up, Partin with pretty much one last attack. He's on 26 probes, 2 bases. This is all in or die trying. And here we go, Partin pressing forwards. Let's see what he can achieve. As we are going to be seeing Partin was in such a great position early game, I think. I think he put himself in a great spot. Just had to defend one attack from Rogue, and it went so badly from the start before it even began. And you can just see Rogue is eager to jump on this army. Now, those Colossus will deal good damage to the Hydras, and they are target firing the Hydras. It's just how do you then get rid of the lurk account? Bottom right-hand side, our red Zerg player from Jeanette. Green Wings is Rogue. And away we go. I'm intrigued to see what Partin does this time around in terms of his build order, etc. Dropping down on the natural expansion, getting that started. So we are just going to be seeing the gateway coming down, the assimilator coming up, pro building. What does Partin's tech choice look like here? He's going to fake the idea of a cannon rush, scare Rogue a little bit, try and force an overreaction, but no forge. Can't cannon rush without a forge, guys, believe it or not. It's kind of difficult. I mean, you could try, but you're not going to get very far. You might get the pylons down, but then you're kind of going to be a bit stuck. Want to see more Marus are slowly falling. It'd be great if they just sent Maru out second every time after Rex instead of Rogue, right? I mean, I like seeing Rogue as well, but feels like we never get to see enough of Maru. You know, Maru doesn't play a lot of these online tournaments that the team's playing. It'd be cool to see more of him. Remember that after this, Firefly will make his first appearance of the weekend. Really, really excited to see what he comes out with. If he can cause some kind of an upset in our grand finals, that would be amazing. Adept. Chrono boosted out. Getting this started. See the third hatch dropping down, getting this going, and Hypnotized Carapace, the investment before link speed, so Rogue is looking for that info right from the start. Prism is starting up from Pine. Robo Facility was his first tech choice, so that's on his way. Overlord flies by into the natural, gonna head up into the main. Scouting around here in these early stages. Gonna see what's up as this queen goes back into the main base. Have the Stalker here, pushing the Overlord way up the top side. Doesn't quite find the kill just yet. More starting to build Immortals. Forge is about to finish, and he will be able to start up that +1 and maybe start heading towards +1 Immortal Sentry attack. Absolutely a possibility here, as we do see that Immortal currently Chrono boosting on in from the Robos. Again, that up and running. There's that +1 attack started. See how many more Immortals he builds here. It's parting. The difference that this one map could make in the momentum for Pixel 1 and what they need to do is absolutely huge. I mean, you know, even if Parton loses here and Firefly manages to take down Rogue, imagine Firefly was able to take down someone else instead. It just makes this series seem so much more attainable still for Pixel 1. 3 extra gates on the way up. First Immortal harassing, next Immortal building. You can see no fourth gas story taken from Parting, so 41 probes is kind of where he's going to cut it at, and Rogue should be kind of about done with droning as well. He's already made 56 drones. I mean, that should be more than enough to defend a 40-ish worker roll in from Parting, and you know, Rogue has Nubatez Carapace too, so he's seeing the worker count, he's seeing what Parting has in his bases all this time as well. On Prism. Continues down here. So there's that one Immortal inside. I mean, you can just tell by the no extra attack, right? There's no Twilight coming up. So there's not going to be any kind of +2 attack upgrade or anything along those lines. There's not going to be any charge or any blink. Immortal Sentry, here we go. He will build a Twilight behind this. So it's a pretty late Twilight. He's building a couple probes too. Maybe Parton doesn't feel like he can actually end the game with this. And so he's already thinking about transitioning. That's very weird, of course, to kind of make that decision already. Corrosive Bars will miss the Warp Prism, which relocates before getting that next warping going. So again, that started up. A couple of Corrosive Bars looking to try and land again. Warp Prism pulls back. It's just going to be seeing Roach Speed starting up. It's going to be completing soon, and the thing is, if Parton pulls back home, Rogue might just go across the map and attack. He's actually starting up 7 more drones. I mean, Rogue can still kind of move across and maybe get some damage done here. Nothing dies in that recall apart from the 2 Zealots that were missed in the recall. So he pulls to the 3rd base, Force Field's coming down. Rogue's going to start picking apart these rocks. Again, droning behind this. It's just pressure while he sets him into the next stage of his game, which is also going to be featuring that Baneling Nest. Getting that Baneling Nest up and running too. Here's the Ravagers and Roaches. Take down the rocks, opening up this pathway. All of these Zerglings out. Over to the right. As Rogue pulls back. Again, just pressure. Scare Parton a little bit. He's built up a lot to kind of continue on in the game right now, so again, just trying to force some defensive structures. You know, multiple shield batteries were built on this 3rd, for example. Help out as much as possible. Prism back over to the right as we slow it down a little bit here. Models are going to try and pick off a base, but Rogue is quick to respond, and so Parton is forced back. You see there's a couple of Banelings in the Overlord trying to press forwards into that natural, but will not find the opportunity just yet. +1 melee, +1 carapace, continuing up again. Roach, Ravager, Bane in the center, still pressing forwards. Colossus is going to be finishing shortly. Hive is going to be completing or starting up at least, so Hive on the way. Charge +2 attack and Colossus production continued on Nexus. Drops down on the 4th base. This game was going a little bit more macro than I felt it would, but I really feel like Rogue's the one controlling it, right? He's like, you know, I'm feeling good, right? 81 drones. Partin's only on 66, full 3 base saturation, but yeah, you know, obviously Rogue on 81 is mining more, and Hive on the way up, so Vipers can be made against the Colossus if he doesn't want to go Corruptors. Lings run in, Nexus on the 4th, really in trouble right away. A couple of Stalkers there don't do much. I mean, Lings just traded that well against it. Hey, that's nice force fields and a nice blink though, and that's a denial on these Zerglings getting out, so Rogue, that becomes a very costly 4th base cancel. Very costly 4th base cancel. That costs him a lot of units. That hurts a lot. Parting's army out over the side, gonna blink in, kill off an Overlord there. We'll take this down as we do see the rest of this only on that right hand side. I mean, great force fields, great blink. Parting capitalizes on that scenario, suddenly has an army supply lead. Now only because Rogue is banking money that he's not spending yet. Rogue wants to go Ultras. It's a style we've seen him play once before this weekend. We didn't see much of it. He just kind of won the game before they really came out. Nice network coming up as well. It's that stage where he wants to start being aggressive around the entirety of the map. Army from Parting in at the middle. It's going to be another Archon morphing in here. It's going to be done in a moment on the top side. There's going to be some Stalkers warping in to deal with the Nidus. Again, Parting just down the bottom right to see what he can do. Couple Stalkers in some trouble, and Roach is still pressing forward to hallucinate Phoenix up in the skies. Parting has an equal army supply. Can he fight this? No kindness played on Ultras just yet. Immortals will have an important role to play, try and target those down. Sentries will need a force field. The Banelings out for as long as possible. Let the Colossus clean up as many as they can. His forward base is taken down. Parting has already lost 7 probes. The counter-attack on the picture-in-picture. Roaches get into action. Vipers do abduct the Colossus in. They go down very quickly. The blinding clouds are huge. The corrosive battles are big. The Ultras get some big shots off. As these Stalkers blink forwards, it's the reinforcing Zerglings that are going to be so difficult for Parting to deal with, because again, it's mostly Stalkers left. So with mostly Stalkers left over, Rogue is trying to make Lings to get back in this, but he's going to lose the natural. He'll lose Lings as they pop out here and there as well. They'll have to gather together and try and come in from a couple of different sides. Parting all the way up into the main base. Archon damage is good. The Zerglings continue to drop. Extra Zealots warping in. And this army of Parting is making things happen right now. It feels like Rogue just can't get enough together. That's an Ultras that will go down without too much trouble, I think, as well. So this Ultra's in trouble also. This main base is going to start dropping. And Rogue does not have a way to defend this at the moment. And Parting, oh, I know, you tell you what, he's going to be kicking himself for losing that Prism in the first game. Because if he 2-0'd Rogue here, the difference that would have made. Alas, he looks as though he'll still make up for it, as he's going to kill Rogue off, and he will force another player out of Jin Air to play against Firefly. It is not going to be a Rogue all-kill. Rogue, once again, finds difficulty in the ZVP today, or this weekend, I should say. Had struggles with it against Patience in this first playoff match yesterday. And Rogue, I mean, he's trying to hang in there. Parting is up 40 army supply, though. Parting is picking away at these Spankles. I mean, these Ultras, that's kind of the problem too. The army of Parting's pretty good against those couple of Ultras. The Banelings don't really do enough. Blinks forwards, and that's what the Stalkers are really good at as well, blinking onto those Ultras and chasing those down. That Ultra goes down. The last few Roaches dropping as well. There goes the drones being pulled in, and Parting